So, you think the Hero Overdrive mode is your ticket to dominating Final Fantasy X's in-game? You've been told that it's the key. You've been grinding for it, relying on it to crush those massive beings. But what if I told you that the Hero Overdrive mode, it is all a trap? That this so-called ultimate mode is actually holding you back and wasting hours of your life. Today we're going to be blowing the lid off your head on why the Hero Overdrive mode is one of the worst choices for the in-game grind and why it is simple to fix these changes immediately, everything. So let's be real. The Hero Overdrive mode sounds awesome. The name alone makes you think of Titus and Auron landing that epic finishing blow on some colossal beast.
This is for the fallen!
The game even leans into this idea. You've unlocked it by defeating tough enemies, so it feels like a badge of honor. A mode for players who can actually tackle Final Fantasy X's biggest challenges.
Check this out.
If you read the description, it says the gauge will charge when you defeat a powerful enemy, giving you a solid 20% charge. Then there's a hidden secret. If you didn't know, I'm going to explain it to you. At very early game levels, the mode can actually also trigger if you defeat an enemy with 20 times more HP than the estimated damage that you deal. On the surface, that sounds like a great deal. You kill a big monster, you get a big chunk of your overdrive back. And you can loop that into more overdrives. It seems perfect, but why would you jump through loops for a 20% charge when another mode gives you the same reward for almost doing nothing? It's a great story, but it's one that has led countless players, including myself, down a path of total destruction. So where's the catch? Why is this mode that seems so amazing on paper actually a complete waste of your time? It is all about that sneaky little phrase, powerful enemy. See, Final Fantasy X has a very specific, and I mean very strict definition of what a powerful enemy is. For hero mode to actually give you that 20% charge, you have to land a killing blow on an enemy that has 10,000 HP or more. Let that sink in. 10,000. Now, think about your average grinding sessions. For all the hours you spent farming AP, sphere levels, and capturing monsters, think about the enemies that you're fighting over and over. The wolves, the flans, the little raptors. How many of them have 10,000 HP? The answer is pretty much none of them. For every single one of those hundreds, maybe thousands of battles you fight against normal fiends, your hero mode will give you a big fat 0.
Farewell.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Now, this turns your in-game grind into a slogfest. Instead of just efficiently clearing out enemies, you're forced to hunt down only the beefiest fiends just to get a measly 20% charge. Now, you might find some in places like Mount Gargazet or the final dungeon, but there aren't every fight. You end up actively avoiding fights, easier battles, just because the overdrive mode doesn't work on them. You are literally sabotaging your own grind, homie. So let's talk about the mode you should be using. The one that veteran players known as borderline broken for a reason. It is called the Slayer Overdrive mode. The description is beautifully simple. Charges when the character defeats an enemy. There's no conditions. There's no fine print. No HP check. No hidden agendas. If your character defeats an enemy, you will get a charge. Points blank, period. And how much is that charge? It is 20%. That's right. Slayer gives you the exact same 20% charge as hero, but it works on every single enemy that you defeat. It doesn't matter if the enemy has 10 HP, mini bosses, or a 100,000 HP behemoth king. Slayer will trigger regardless. For grinding and random encounters, Slayer is just flat out better in every way. Now, one mode rewards you for beating an enemy, the other only rewards you for beating a tiny handful of them for the exact same prize. Compared to Slayer, hero mode falls off hard. and it can become absolute garbage as soon as you reach Besaid Island if you unlock Slayer mode in the early game. Now, let's put this into a real world example to show you how insane the difference is. Imagine you are in the end game, maybe capturing fiends for the monster arena. You're using Titus, and you got his multi-hit overdrive energy rain. You get into a fight with 3 weak, low HP fiends. This is the first scenario, with hero mode on. You use energy rain, all 3 enemies die instantly. Quick and clean. How much overdrive did you gain? 0. Zilch. Because none of them had 10,000 HP or more. Your gauge is right where it started. Now, Slayer mode. You use the same energy rain. All 3 enemies die instantly. But this time, you get a 20% charge for each kill. Boom. You just got a 60% overdrive bar back in a single move. If you have a weapon that has triple overdrive, that one attack would have completely refilled your gauge instantly, ready to go for the next battle. You see the difference right there? It's not a small improvement, it is a total game changer. With Slayer, you can create feedback loops of pure power. More kills get you more overdrives. More overdrive means faster fights, which means more kills in less time, while the Slayer user is still singling out for each enemy, like for an example the Behemoth, to get a 20% charge. The Slayer user has already cleared 5 fights and used 5 overdrives. It's just busted for random battles. Now, I can hear you thinking, Slayer's for trash mobs, but Hero is for the big choices. You know what I'm saying? For bosses, right? They're powerful. Nope. Wrong. Nope. Hero is arguably even worse for boss fights. Remember the rule. You have to defeat the powerful enemy. And in a boss fight, how many times does that happen? Once? At the very end of a fight that might have taken ages, you spent the entire battle with an empty overdrive gauge, only to get 20% charge at the exact moment you no longer need it. It is completely useless, homie. For boss fights, you want modes that build up during the battle. Your best bets are modes like Warrior and Comrade. Warrior charges your gauge whenever you deal damage, so it rewards you for being aggressive. Comrade is even better for your healers or even tougher fights, as it charges the gauge when an ally gets hit. Against a super boss that's throwing out massive party wipes, your entire team's overdrive gauge can fill up in an instant. So where does that leave Hero? It is outclassed by Slayer for grinding and outclassed by Warrior and Comrade for bosses. Period, homie. I mean, what more can you want me to say? That this mode is trash, purely as bottom of the list. It doesn't have a role. If you want a challenge, okay, there might be a niche for it, you know what I'm saying, in low level playstyle. But even then, its value is questionable. So how do you escape the hero trap? It is super easy. You learn Slayer mode, you know what I'm saying, easy peasy. You just guessed it. Defeating just enemies, plain and simple. Each character has a set number of kills they need to unlock it. Orin just need to defeat 80 enemies for an example, while Titus needs to defeat 100. Honestly, if you're in the mid to late game, you probably already unlocked it without even noticing it. So go into the menu right now, select Overdrive, then set mode. If you see Slayer in that list, equip it immediately. Pair it with a weapon that has double or triple overdrive and you will become a complete beast on the field that speeds your overdrive in the nutshell. You know what I'm saying? You'll go from a slow, frustrating grind to an absolute powerhouse. Just blasting through random battles and watching your skill levels fly up, bro. I can promise you that. So, if you're a new player, don't ever, and I mean don't ever, equip the Hero Overdrive mode. I'm trying to save you right now. If you're on your journey in Final Fantasy X and you have this hero mode and you're like, oh wow, I just got this Overdrive mode. What does it do? Defeat a powerful enemy? Yay, I can use this against strong enemies and bosses. No. The Slayer Overdrive mode is your best friend, I promise you. Once you go to Slayer, you never go back. I can promise you. Now, I gotta ask you, have you been stuck in hero mode trap for this whole time if you're new? Have I convinced you to finally make the switch to Slayer? Let a brother know in the comment section down below what your go-to Overdrive setup is. And hey, if this video saved you from hours of painful efficiency grinding, do a brother a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Final Fantasy X deep dives that will help you play smarter, not harder. So there it is. The Hero Overdrive mode, despite the cool name, is a trap. Its highly restrictive 10,000 HP requirement makes it almost useless for the most time consuming part of the game, the in-game grind. The real key to the endless supply of Overdrive is Slayer, which provides the identical 20% charge for defeating any enemy, turning your grind into a sprint. For those big bosses, you're better off with the Warrior or Comrade Overdrive mode, homie, to keep that gauge up in mid-fight. I'm just being real with you. So stop sabotaging your own progress. Go into the menu, make that simple switch from Hero to Slayer, and just watch how faster your journey is mastered, you know, when you hit the spirit grid, you know what I'm saying? So what other pieces of common knowledge in Final Fantasy X do you think is actually a myth? Let a brother know in the comments, man. I'll check you guys later. Peace out. The Retro Era.